All right. Hello. Good evening, folks. Good evening, everyone. How you guys doing today? Just finalizing my setup. Okay. Perfect. How you guys doing today? How is how's the preparation going for to ring in the new year? How you guys planning to do all that? The ringing in the new year and all you need to do. Yeah, I'm just finalizing these. All right, I think I'm done here. Then we're gonna start in a couple of minutes. Okay, perfect. All right, I want to talk about something that is dear to my heart today. And this is still around what we've been talking about though, but yeah, I want to look into some specifics. As the year changes, right? We almost at a point where, depending on the part of the world that you are, the year might have changed, switched over to a new year, or we're still approaching that new year. So, as the year changes, decide who you're becoming. Decide who you are becoming. So, as you join this chat, please let us know where you're joining from. And also, those of you that will be watching this later, please go ahead and comment under the chat as you deem fit. As the year changes, decide who you're becoming. Before anything changes tonight, before anything changes tonight, before the countdown, before the noise, I want you to sit with one question, just one question. When this year, when 2025 ends in a few hours, what exactly is ending? That's the question I want you to sit down with. I don't tell you that the calendar is not ending, because the calendar will flip. What about the dates? Is the date ending? The date is not also ending. But what version of you is supposed to end tonight? Some of you have survived this year. You didn't just live it. You didn't live it. You survived it. You made it through, but you didn't move forward. And survival slowly turns into regret when it becomes a lifestyle. See, when survival becomes a lifestyle, it turns into regret. Tonight is not about motivation. And I've been saying for the past days, this channel is not about hype, it's about direction. Tonight is about looking inwards with honest lenses. Because as the year ends and a new one is born, someone is being formed. For sure, someone is being formed. And if you don't choose who that is, life will choose for you. If you don't choose who is being formed as the year ends, life will choose for you. Let me say something clearly. Time does not transform people. Decisions do. I repeat that again. Time does not transform people, decisions do. We were taught that if enough time passes by, things will magically improve. Oh, but that's a big fat lie. We've seen it. We've discussed it in lot of our discussions on this channel. We now know that's a lie. Things doesn't just improve on their own. Time doesn't heal what you refuse to confront. Time only reveals patterns. That's why people repeat the same year with a different number on the calendar. You see same habits, you see same fears, same excuses, same conversation, but different year and the same person. So tonight, or whenever you watch this video, I'm not asking you what you want. I'm asking, who are you becoming by default? Who are you becoming by default? As the year runs to an end, we've been taught to set goals. So I've been discussing this with a lot of people, and we have a lot of people talking about goal setting, goal setting, goal setting, goal setting, goal setting. But goals, in and of itself, doesn't change lives. I'll prove it to you very soon. What changes life is identity. You need to know exactly where you are, who you are, where you want to be, and what you need to get there. If you don't decide who you're becoming, your habits will decide for you. So actually, it is not a case of rising to your goals, it's actually a case of falling to your habits. Your habits don't care about your goals or your dreams. Now, I want you to relate this to the goal statement I made before. I said goal in and of itself will not change you. Remember, I did say your habits, you fall down to the level of your habits, not up to your goals. Great goals plus unchecked habits will give you a wanted result. Or I wish I have a board here, a screen to write that in. Great goals, well-planned goals, plus unchecked habits will definitely give you unwanted results. Habits only obey your comfort. Only. Habits, it doesn't obey goals. You don't rise to the level of your intentions. I've always said that in this channel. You don't rise to the level of your intentions. You fall to the level of your identity. That's why someone can want success and still sabotage themselves. We've seen that so much in our lives as we go through life with our friends, with some people around us, our colleagues. You see someone that craves for success, he wants success, is definitely reaching out for success, but they end up sabotaging themselves. Because deep down, they don't see themselves as someone who finishes. So tonight, we're not writing goals. We're rewriting self-image. Self-image. Let's talk about the cost of staying the same. If I decide not to change, I decide to just glide and go with the flow, will that be costly? Whether you like it or not, staying the same is not neutral. Oh, definitely it's not neutral. It costs you time. It costs you peace. It costs you respect for yourself. So every year you delay becoming who you know you should be, you train yourself to tolerate dissatisfaction. And tolerance is dangerous because once pain becomes familiar, you stop trying to escape from it. So you're so used to a pain that it now becomes part of your lifestyle. Some of you watching this right now, or those that will watch it later, some of you are not lazy. Definitely you're not lazy, you're just discouraged. It's just a case of discouragement. And discouragement comes from trying without clarity. You just try to do stuff, try to throw darts in the dark without clarity, so you get discouraged. So tonight is about clarity also. We are approaching the doorway of the new year. So we're approaching, gradually getting there from this part of the world. Except in your part of the world, you're already in the new year. But right now, we are approaching the doorway of the new year. And doorways demand decisions. Doorways demand decision, either to go forward or to stay where you are. You cannot carry every version of yourself forward. Well, that's a lot of baggage. You can't do that. Some mindset must stay back. Some fears must stay back. Some relationship must stay back. Some excuses must stay back. So you have to make that decision. Who goes with you into the new year and who stays back? So the version of you that moves over is a decision that needs to be made. Like I've always said, you don't need a new year to make these things happen, though. You don't need a new year to make these things happen. All you need is a new standard. So as the new year rolls in, or as you ring in the new year, make sure you're ready with your new standard too. So as the new year is coming in, you have a new standard, so you both meet, you fuse. After midnight tonight, the year will change. But now comes the hardest part. Will you change? Will you? That's a question for you. Will you change? Becoming is not a feeling. It's a commitment. The last video of my channel is talking about committing to your commitment, right? If you've not seen that, please go watch that. It will help you a lot. Becoming is not a feeling, it's a commitment. You commit to yourself. You make plans. You see them through. That's very important. Wherever you are, wherever you're watching this, for those that are live, I want you to say this to yourself quietly, just yourself. I am becoming someone who takes responsibility. I am becoming someone who takes responsibility. And if you'll be watching this later on, you can type it in the comment section, no problem. I am becoming someone who takes responsibility. Becoming means you stop negotiating with your potential. You do what you have to do, even if you don't know how. You just start, and how will find itself to you. I've spoken about how I started this YouTube journey, right? I don't know how. I don't have the best of cameras. I don't have the best of microphones. Even till date, I don't. I just started moving. All right? And it has yielded good results. Let me say this with respect and truth. God is faithful. God is very, very faithful. But God does not override responsibility. In one of my videos, we talked about the law of responsibility. God does not override responsibility. You can pray for growth, but refuse discipline. You can pray for clarity, but avoid stillness. Faith is not passive. Faith is cooperative. As you pray and declare today, as you move into a new year, you go to church, you go to mosques, or wherever you go to today, wherever temple you go to, as you pray and declare today, pray, but remember to make a plan. That is very important. Remember to make a plan. Remember, you are at a point of decision tonight. Which version of you goes forward with you, or which version stays? Tonight is all about alignment. So, becoming looks like being disciplined with your time. Going forward, you're like, okay, I'm going to be disciplined with my time. I'm going to be the one in the driver's seat of my life. I won't just go anywhere that everyone wants me to go to. No. In the new year, becoming looks like being honest with your habits. Like we did say, you can make all the goals. You can have stellar dreams. You can have great goals. But great goals plus unchecked habits will give you unwanted results. Because you don't rise to your goals, you fall to your habits. So becoming is being honest with your habits. What am I doing that's wrong? What am I doing that I need to change at this point of decision? Becoming intentional with your environment. Where do I go to? All right? Where do I even need to go to? Should I go everywhere? Do I need to be everywhere? Am I needed everywhere? Becoming selective with your energy. Where do I focus my thought and my attention this year? Do I scatter myself everywhere? Then you scatter yourself thin. You're everywhere. Or do I focus on specifics and get the kind of result I want? Ask yourself this question again. What must I stop doing to become who I say I want to be? What? What must I stop doing to become who I say I want to be? Also, in that same vein, ask yourself, what must I start doing even when I don't feel like it? What must I start doing even when I don't feel like it? Now, I call this point the mirror moment. The mirror moment. Very soon, if you have not, depending on the part of the world you are, you're going to ring in a new year in a matter of hours or minutes, or depending on where you are, you might have done that already. I want us to paint a scenario together, forgetting about the old year, forgetting about 2025. Now 2026 is just starting. Imagine meeting yourself 1 year from now. So what we're saying, imagine you're standing and yourself is standing in 2027. Both don't speak. They just look at each other. So imagine you looking at you in 2027. Will they thank you? Will the only conversation be thank you for doing what you did? Or the conversation will be, why did you delay again? Why did you have to wait for a better time? Why did you not make the move? Why did you allow us to waste 12 months? Think about it. It's a scenario that came to my mind earlier today. If you're standing before you in exactly 1 year's time today, what will the conversation be like? Will it be one of gratitude or one of regret? Oh, opportunities came in the past, you didn't take them. Or it will be a case of, whoa, they came, we caught them, we ran with them. Or there was no opportunity, we created one and we ran with it. So think about that. Your future is not waiting on luck. All right? Just get that, just be clear on that. Your future is not waiting on luck. And your future is not also waiting on prophecies. Your future is waiting on courage. You got to do something. You're going to stand up, take up your cloak, and move. Do something. Now, let me leave you with this as we prepare to ring in the year in this part of the world. The year is changing. A new year is being better. But tonight, you decide. You decided to stop drifting. Tonight, you decided to stop shrinking. You decided to stop lying to yourself. As the year changes, you're no longer wishing. You are becoming. You're now in the center stage. You're in the ring right now. Everyone is looking at you. You're no longer a spectator on the stands anymore. The ball is now in your court. It is you versus the goalkeeper. That is a moment of becoming. That is where you are right now. Moving away from a year that just ended to a year that's just starting. So you are now in the ring with the ball. You are becoming. You are not thinking anymore. This is not time to think now. This is time to act. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What changes will you make for the person you want to be? What plans will you put in place to take you from point A to point where I want to get to? Regardless of the nitty-gritty in between where you are and where you're going to, you don't need to know all that. Things get clearer along the way. That's how life is. You just make the first move. No matter how bent the road is, when you get to the bend, you see clearly. But if you don't get to that bend, you won't see the next horizon. So you are now in the game. You've been handed the ball. You're in the ring. It is now your turn to start. Make that decision today. Decide to do better. This is going to be a great year. You ask me, Matt, how do you know? Because it's a new slate for a lot of people. For those that already have plans, it's just a continuation of the plans. If you don't have plans before, this is time to make a new plan. If you have plans before, you just keep running with what you have. So that's how I know it's going to be a great year. But make that decision today. Walk in it. Live it. Stay in it. All right. Thank you so much, friends, for your time. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for being part of our channel in this year. We're going to do great things together in the coming year, for sure. Happy New Year. for now.